This is Lauren.
This is Trey.
And this
is the Partnership Podcast. Okay, about...
I'd like to lean into more what you were... Hi, welcome back. We have not changed. This is next week's podcast.
I've changed. I'm an entirely different person.
New man now. I'd like to continue the conversation where we left it off, especially on, you were alluding to my rage era. Would you like to speak more to that? And would you like to speak more to, for our new listeners, what you were talking about when you were like, actually, this is good a little bit, right? Because I think new listeners might be confused out of their minds. Like, why is that egotistical bitch like being so mean? Why doesn't she apologize? Why don't you give the listeners a backstory?
Sure. Backstory on
why we're proud of me for standing in my ego, what it sounded like.
Yeah.
On
Okay.
the last
So Lauren's working on not people pleasing so much. My default is quiet rage and anger. Her default is like people pleasing or apologizing or kind of like, I don't know, falling on the cross. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
So because that's what she was trained to do ever since she was a baby. And she is now working on, because everybody needs to access anger. Everybody needs to access rage. There needs to be, if you're imagining a pond, there needs to be a little bit of water in all of them. Mm-hmm. One can't be dry, one can't be overflowing, because that's how things get fucked. So she is working on staying in more of her agency and being like, hey, yeah, I disappointed you. What can I own? Versus like, I'm so sorry, it'll never happen again. Versus going to a place of, I don't know, martyrdom. Yeah. So she's working on her ego, for lack of a better word. And a better word would be she's working on accessing emotions that she normally can't access. Great example, her person, shout out to her person, says, hey, don't intellectualize this. Just get angry. Don't word salad this. Just get mad. Mm-hmm. Great opposite is me going, hey, intellectualize a little bit more versus yelling fuck as loud as you can in the car. Mm-hmm. So like, hey, just talk to cool yourself down versus yelling motherfucker as loud as you can in the car. We'll beep that out. So that's what that was.
Partnership's super cool because
you guys have a lot of sex too. I mean, if you're lucky.
Get out.
If you're lucky.
Trey says this morning, may all humans get to have this. Just as we were touching genitals before getting out of the bed.
It wasn't for them though. I was trying to get some pussy.
It was like a beautiful manifestation.
It was a beautiful
I think if all of us in a lovey-dovey moment were like, may the world have this, I think we'd be a better world. I loved it. Anytime I'm kissing on you, anywhere on your body, you're welcome to say that. But partnership's really cool because if you hang in there long enough and you do the work and you put in the work, you get to see your partner, especially if they have people, right? And they've got professionals in their corner too. You get to see them start to grow into new versions. And it was really cool. And you get to sit in, this is what we're working on, our own discomfort with the other's growth. So if you tuned into last week, you noticed me sit and hold space for Trey. And you also saw Trey kind of try to get curious about me. These are tools, y'all, that we've been working on. These are not things we just had. We just woke up one day with.
Oh, we're talking about the conversation we just... said last week it reset my hard drive there.
Sorry, we just had it 5 seconds ago.
Those moments where you're like, as a man or a person, you're like, I'm stupid. It's like, what did we talk about last week? It's like, oh, she means 5 minutes ago, literally.
We're batching, honey, we're batching. It is a wild thing to witness, right? So Trey is experiencing me stepping into rage, which is also coming with, not immediately going to, my bad, I'm a failure, which is going to be great sometimes. And sometimes it's going to be like, well, that was an egotistical defensive response. It's allowed to have its own ramifications in your body.
My job is to say you can't do that. Or excuse me, my job is to not say you
Yeah.
can't do that. Hey, you can't do that. No, it's literally what we're working on. Is it allowed to be like a what the fuck is going on right now in my mind?
Right. And that's
Because in
why.
my mind, I'm on the porch saying, hey, can we be on time? And she's like, I don't have time for people that expect me to be on time. And I go, I'm looking you in the eyes.
Sorry, baby.
We're going to sleep next to each other tonight. I'm the one saying, can we be on? It's me. I don't have time for that. It's like, okay. So it was a what the fuck is going on? But hey, this is my job. My job is to then say, great. And then just
Seeing
grab
it
your
through
arm.
your
and say,
eyes,
"We'll
it's
talk
a
about this later.
wild, it's a wild experience.
We'll talk about this.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
That's what relationship is when you truly like you're invested in somebody. You just go, what the fuck is going on? Then you come down to baseline, you talk about it later. And then if things come up in your body, that's okay. Where it's like me getting into my mom's Volvo at 10 years old comes up in my body. Where it's like, holy shit. And I don't like her. If you're new, if you're new to this dog and pony show, I don't like my mom.
And
She's dead, so that's good.
that's good.
She's my mom. I get to celebrate.
Yeah.
I didn't kill her. Stress did.
We've taken a dark turn, gentle audience.
She invested in a bunch of silver. Like she bought a bunch of silver coins and shit.
Dude, how did you find that out? Okay, we're not going to make this a mom podcast, although it does have to do with what I want to say.
That's real resentment when you're disappointed in her financial decisions. That's real resentment. It's like you bought silver coins like on TV.
Our parents are so similar. It's wild.
Boomers, dude. And if you're a boomer and you're listening to this, I have a bias toward you.
The boomers who listen to our podcast
Make sure and comment.
are the coolest.
Make sure and comment in the below. I won't read them.
You won't read them.
I won't read them.
I know our age and demographics. We hit mostly boomers. The
Well,
cool ones.
I feel a type of way, so.
The cool ones. On YouTube. On Spotify, no. Younger audience. YouTube, boomers. Hi.
I listen to Spotify. I listen via Spotify. Not to this podcast.
Okay, I have a point to make, which is, speaking of moms, so many of the emotional responses we feel in our body when our partner does a thing that we don't like have some to do with the partner who's doing the thing we don't like, a lot to do with usually a primary caregiver. Very often. I am learning a lot about this two-choice dilemma thing. David Schnarch coined this, well, maybe he didn't coin the term. You're going to take my oat milk. This is why when I try to do YouTube shorts, I can't pan to you because you're doing crazy shit while I'm trying to talk. And so then I pan to you and it's like Trey pouring oat milk. Okay.
It's what the viewers want.
Okay, two-choice dilemmas. It is true. They love
I always think you just like seeing yourself talk for 45
No,
seconds.
you're doing that type of thing. I'm going to show you. I'm going to make a clip where I'm trying to share about David Schnarch's two-choice dilemmas.
We're not on a union set. I don't need to be still, okay?
Okay. When, in our youth and adolescence and childhood, we weren't given choice.
No.
Okay?
I mean, correct. I agree with you. Sorry, I wasn't. No.
I can't make any points today. We will often experience the same emotional response when we feel our choices are being taken away in adulthood. So how fitting was it that this lack of your beloved being on time triggered, oh, hey, there she is, your mom. Okay? Happens all the time. Now, as a partner, I get to choose how much of an asshole I am to you in regards to these certain childhood woundings. I like to say when we choose partnership, we also choose one another's trauma and the rate at which they are healing from this trauma. I'm not interested in consistently triggering old woundings of yours as you are healing. I'm watching you in real time heal so much of this mom shit.
I'm not interested in getting, hammered drunk around you because I know how triggering that is.
Right. There are choices I make. So I, even though it didn't seem like it on the porch, I am very interested in hearing how I may have wounded you. what was so interesting about the moment that night is it seemed to me in that moment, and we've learned more, which is beautiful, that it was less about me. It was more about the projection of what best friend Jay was feeling.
Correct.
And what I wanted to be asking for that night is permission to fuck up if I was fucking up with Jay, and to ask you directly, baby, have I fucked up with you? Do I need to take any ownership and
That's
accountability?
one of the first questions you asked.
Yeah.
And I had to do a check-in where I was like,
tell the audience that, but I did say that.
well, I was about to tell the audience that, then I got interrupted.
Go. What did I say? Praise me, please.
You asked, you're so pretty. You asked, is this about me, or is this about something I did to you, or is this about like what you're feeling into Jay? And I had to check in. I go, it's Jay. I truly didn't give a shit what time we were going to be there. I gave a shit if Jay was going to have to sit there and try to defend with his life bar seats that people wanted to sit in. Because I felt the awkwardness of that. I could feel that really well.
Have you ever held seats for a friend at a bar?
Yeah.
How did it go?
I hate it.
Huh. I wondered last week when we were podcasting if this is one of those take space, make space moments, and if it feels like taking up too much space for you.
I felt like you were taking up too much space.
Yeah. So Trey is working on taking up more space. Correct me if I'm wrong. And there are times where I need to work on that too, but that does not tend to be my issue as much. I'm okay taking up space. I was encouraged to take up space as a young human. I just was also encouraged that it needed to look a certain way, and I also needed to take on tons of responsibility, and I also needed...
honor your husband.
Yeah. Oh, it's such confusing messaging. But you're like, can we bring that one back around?
Yeah, let's get back to that one, okay?
But I've saved seats at bars many times and have done it lovingly. I've put, an order in if need be, but there's no, it's fine.
This is my shit. This
Yeah.
is my shit.
Yeah. So what was...
It's not yours to fix.
Right. I did wonder, I wasn't going to say it, but if this was also my action is causing us to take up space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had to sit in, Lauren, it's okay to take up space. It just is. What? Why are you smirking?
I've had a lot of coffee, and also, like, I didn't get any sex that day, and...
That day or today?
That day, yesterday. Did we have sex in the morning? I just, and getting back to what you were taught as a child of, like, really take care of your husband, what's up with that? Like, I didn't get laid.
No wifely duties.
We didn't get what I wanted, leaving 10 minutes earlier. I just, I feel... I was digging in the snow.
You did.
Yeah, I just feel... Yeah, I just don't feel like men are well represented in this house. We watched that gay sex hockey show. That was for you.
Being able to sit in our own discomfort without forcing another to be uncomfortable, without fighting to restore comfort to all people at all costs through adaptive behaviors, I think is one of the most underrated skills in the world.
Say it again.
Developing a capacity to sit in one's own discomfort and observe the world and others and our relational partners and our best friends at an observational distance. Hear feedback, an ouch, a boo-boo, a disappointment, and lay it in this third domain and consider it. Consider our own anxieties. Consider our own narratives.
It sounds corny as fuck. Developing that is a superpower.
It's a freaking superpower.
Because when you do that, almost, I'd say 99% of the time, it's like, oh, that turned out better. To put it in the third to go into observer mode, to take that feeling off of yourself and just put it over here. I'm going a fist away from my body. Full arm straight is a superpower, and it's easier said than done.
Because when we got to the bar, and what you did, you narrated this out loud to best friend Jay. He listened because we're all nerds like this.
Yeah.
He shared, I got here late on purpose, Trey, because I know who I'm dealing with.
I took a bunch of selfies. It was a lovely walk.
It was a lovely walk. I got here at 6:07. You guys asked to shave chairs. I was a little nervous about that, but I got in, and there were 3 perfectly where we wanted them. And he said around right before you guys walked in, the bartender asked if I'd like to put it in order, and I started to feel some anxiety in my body. And he goes, but that's my work. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? He goes, that's my work. I feel anxious, and anxiety is my work. And I don't know if you saw this between he and I, but I started tearing up. I said, that's not yours to fix. That is mine, right? So that's that same sitting in one's own discomfort. Why am I uncomfortable right now? Right? And his discomfort was, I don't know literally what to tell the bartender they want. Yeah. His wasn't blah, blah, blah. It was, there's a request. I don't have an answer. And yeah, wild. Please hear me. This is not some permission slip to wound other people and be like, oh, well, you got to deal with that in the third domain. No, again, we don't get to tell people how to love us. We get to decide whether or not we want to participate in the ways that they love. Again, if I was that woman that Trey was describing last week, standing on the porch, kind of being an egotistical bitch, not caring about Trey or our friend, or yeah, Trey would need to assess some things. If I was deserving of relationship, if I was safe to be in relationship with, he would have some choices to make. If that's the type of shit I was consistently putting out into the third domain and was not willing to be reflective and considerate and take accountability, Trey would need to make some choices. But why I think it's so important that we continue this conversation is that's not actually me. I am that's a lot of your mom, and it is a what would you call it? A aftershock, an effect of the shoring up I am doing of myself in this season, of my rage access. It's, yeah, which is why you're even willing to play with this stuff with me, because you're like, oh, I know where this is going from. And whoo, it's like watching some child develop any kind of skill. Go ahead.
We can play chess together.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like the other version, say if you go to anger, if you go to like old patterns, is checkers. And then this third domain, curiosity, talking about it. Yeah, it's a form of...
Sorry, doing you. I choked on my coffee.
Don't choke on your coffee, honey.
Sorry, everybody. That was a loud cough. Yeah.
So it's chess.
This is a whole different...
Yeah, it's advanced.
Yeah.
Us narrating something in front of our friend and not like... It's not done to make an example of the other person. It's done to try to get this moving out of our body so we can have a good evening, and that's a safe person to do so, and they know our stuff. And yeah. So it's and it's easier now than it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything with practice becomes easy. So yeah, it's not a terrifyingly difficult intellectual exercise. Fuck it. Think, it's not hard to think. So good for us. And this is why you come. This is why we fire up these mics, so we can pat ourselves on the back.
No. So we can make an example of our growth. I think I am nerding out right now in this developmental model and fascinated by these growth seasons are expected and should be celebrated in relationship. Yeah. And so often we cling to and try to hearken back and try to return to the earliest days of infatuation and limerence and lust. And y'all, hate to break it to you, but no, those are one and done. We don't go back to that time. We don't go back to the you're perfect stage. I don't know if we ever thought each other was perfect, but we don't.
No. No.
No.
Do you think I'm perfect?
No.
Ask me.
Do you think I'm perfect?
No. She bumped the microphone with her ring like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, don't bump the mic. Don't bump the mic.
I get it. We want to be comfy, right? I get why you wanted to be on time for Jay, because you'd like to remain in relationship with best friend Jay. You would like to...
High status, yeah.
Yes.
I love status. I am a whore for status.
You are.
Yeah.
You would love to be the one who is chosen, the one who is on time, who is respected in order to remain in connection. Mm-hmm. That is not a bad desire at all. It is not. And you and I both get freedom in our healthiest relationships to fuck up sometimes. You tell me that all the time. You say, baby, it is okay to fuck up. It is okay to be human. What we need is tools to repair, tools to then take accountability and to say, what could I do differently? Yes.
Mm-hmm. There's a difference between fuck ups too, where it's, okay, you're digging a hole and then you fall into it. Like, okay, the easy... there's different levels of fucking up too, where it's like the easy ones are the ones you know, like me getting way too drunk at the bar in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't do that because that is something I know not to do. That's something I'm not comfortable with. That's something you're not comfortable with. That is a fuck up that's not tolerated. And then if it happens, it's like, hey, how'd you not know better? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so.
Yes.
Because there's men that I know that dig a hole and then fall into it and then are pissed off when someone says, hey, you dug that hole and you fell into it yourself. And then they're angry about it. And then for me, I just like, oh, you're stupid. You're not ignorant. You're stupid. Or you, at the best case scenarios, you have a block where you can't see how stupid you are.
Your analogies they're really ripping and roaring today.
I don't analogize that much.
No, but I love what you're saying. I love what you're saying, which is there is a difference between continually blaming, right? Oh, but you said it's okay to fuck up. Lauren and Trey said on the partnership podcast that fucking up is a part of relationship. Yeah. Again, I will repeat. We do not get to tell someone how to love us. So if that is someone's chosen path, I'm going to keep digging holes and falling into them. Okay. What we get to decide as the partner is whether or not we're going to continue to participate in the way that they are showing love, which love is an action, my friends. It is not a feeling. It is an action. And so if that is how you're continuing to show up, you're not, go getting a manual on how not to fall in holes or go getting coached up on how to dig differently. That is that person's choice. It is my choice to continue to be perpetually late if I desire. And you get to decide whether or not you want to participate in that. And you get to offer, hey, babe, I feel this kind of way about both my own history and about the way in which we are or are not showing respect to this most precious person in our life.
Yeah.
May I make a request for, or some offerings, or use my projector spidey powers to say, here's some things you could pepper in with that original text message? Should you choose to claim that? Yes. And then, babe, want to let you know that felt ouchy, that felt some kind of way in my body. I don't like that. I don't know if I want to be a part of that. Okay. You get to say that. And I get to say, note taken. Note taken. Thank you for sharing that. That is the natural response. That is the natural consequence of my behaviors. I am not an inherently bad person, but I am a person you can trust to coach, to get coached up, who you can offer perspective into, who then I can sit with best friend Jay and say, how did that feel for you?
And then there's like the reason I love and admire you, or one of the many reasons, is because you saying that and then the actions that follow are what provides safety for all of the fun things in life. Safety, security, and trust within this relationship. It doesn't erode it, it makes it stronger. So we're allowed to have bumps. We're allowed to ouch each other. We're allowed to boo-boo each other. Because we've got great scaffolding for repair. And then, I don't want to be out of relationship with you.
I don't either.
The sex is really good, and I don't have a prenup. First wife.
Oops. You're bad.
Oh, honey, think about that. Who's got the
Trey's like, wait a second.
Yeah, who's got the thriving business? Think about that. Yeah, think about that real quick, honey.
I think that sitting in discomfort thing we were talking about earlier is really cool because it allows us to really think about, too, the action, the feelings. Are they connected to our beloved? Are they connected to our dead mom? What is mine? What is theirs? We have this phrase in the English language of, you made me feel, that's full of fallacy. Nobody makes us feel. They do trigger our source wounds.
What do you say? I felt?
Yes, we feel feelings when we experience somebody else's actions, but no one makes us feel.
I feel? Is that the more
Yes.
elevated way of saying it?
Right? When this happened, I felt. Yes. Great. That's a clue. That's a clue. One of the things that I am trying to get better at this stage is understanding my capacities and sharing that off the bat when I am making new friends. And that is humbling. And because I don't, and I was telling C this the other day.
What you just said is fascinating. Hold on. We got like 2.5 minutes about making new friends, but sharing your capacity while you make them.
Because this is the thing we do, and we do this in new relationships of any kind, right? We're filled with NRE. We're filled with infatuation. The same principles that I would study with polyamory apply to making new friends.
You have a lovely platonic friend in Spain right now. You two are colleagues. You two have like a great connection. What have you shared with that friend about what you just said of like sharing?
That, early on in a relationship, it's like so fun to talk to somebody. And I have said, hey, I really am trying to be transparent with, I don't always have the capacity to respond. These are the platforms in which I am better at communicating versus not great at communicating. I would love to ask for full permission to, like, some days respond a lot and then some days not respond at all, like go into my vortex. I know more about my vortex now. And then sometimes I come out of my vortex and I forget to respond. And I would love you to know up front that means nothing about you.
Okay, great.
That this is the season of life that I am in. And I love deeply. This actually is no signifier of my amount of care or interest in you.
That's beautiful. We have to go.
Yeah.
I need to poop and then go to the dentist.
Are those two of your favorite things in the world?
No. Those are one of my favorite things in the world.
Trey wants me to wrap it up. Thanks for coming to this episode of the Partnership Podcast with Lauren and Trey. Take what you like, leave the rest. Keep in mind, these are our opinions and our opinions only. You have a right to self-determination and informed decision-making. Go like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.